Okay, P Diamond here with the Troybilt TB30R, and still having the steering issue. Perhaps we have the ultimate fix. So in this box, part number 753-11064B is the kit service steering bracket, and we're going to find out if this is the ultimate fix. So if you remember on the previous video, this back plate on the bracket right here, we bent that in to try to take up some of the slop that was causing the pinion wheel to slop around, and that play is what gives us the sloppy steering wheel that doesn't turn the wheels. Well, we were on the right track because in their infinite wisdom, MTD have come up with this. Let me tear open this bag and I'll show you what that's all about. So this is a nylon bushing which goes in here, and the rack and pinion rack slides back and forth in this bushing. So this is a wear item, and that will take up the slop in this bracket here, and supposedly that will fix the issue. So I'm going to get the lawnmower jacked up, I'm going to get this all taken apart, and let's find out if indeed this is the ultimate fix. So the first step is to remove these retaining pins that hold the tie rod ends on. I've already undone the other side, as you can see, so I'm going to get rid of those. They're pretty straightforward, just pull them out. So you just get it started. And off it comes. So on the back of the wheel, these are actually the tie rods. That other rod is a stabilizer rod, so same deal, both sides. Take out the retaining clip. And now that wheel is free to pivot. Do the same on the other side. So here on the other side, just rotate the tie around, and that's what we're after down there. The retaining clip. So I get that out. Now I'd actually lost one of my proper clips, so I just put a cotter pin. So fortunately that kit comes with a couple of spares, so that'll be good. I'll be able to get that back to where it's supposed to be. So you're going to need two sockets. You're going to need 7/16. Don't have to be deep, it's just what I have. And you're going to need 1/2 inch, and that's to get this bolt out and the two retaining, or that nut off should I say, and the two retaining nuts on the sides of the bracket. So I'll show you that next. So these are the two nuts we're after. This one here, and the same on the other side, and then that one there, and then this whole steering bracket will come down with the tie rods and the rack for the rack and pinion assembly. So I'm going to get those done and pulled out. And what I found is, if you push the rack all the way in, you can get to this one, and then push the rack all the way back, and you can get to the other one on the other side. And I won't bore you with that. I'll be back. So in fact, it's probably a better sequence to take this one off first, because as soon as you loosen this bracket, it all starts to get really loose, and it's easier. You just go after this one while you've still got these nuts in place. So let me get that out. Okay, so got that off. Now I haven't touched this since the last video, so I'm not exactly sure how long it's been in place, but I'm going to get all these pieces out and let's have a closer look. Okay, so here's the difference in the designs. So this is the one that we just took off, obviously, and that was the metal plate that we bent in an attempt to take up some of the slop, and they look pretty much the same, right? But there is one big difference, and that is this cutout on the side. See that? Versus the original design. So I think their thinking originally was that this metal plate would retain this bracket, and obviously that didn't work. So now the new and improved version is to put this nylon bushing inside and have it ride on that. So let me get that together and see what that looks like. So the way to get this nylon bushing in is you feed it in from one side, get it into place, and once you got it into place, it just rolls up, and that's that. And then we're going to put the new rod in, or rack in, should I say. So quick note at this point, in the service bulletin, which says it should only be installed by a technician, whatever, they've got all these unnecessary steps, blah blah blah, but when you come down here it says apply benylene lubricant. Well, benylene lubricant is a proprietary gearbox grease that you can get for appliances, and it's about $25 for 8 ounces, so we're not going to worry about that, especially not for a steering bracket. I mean, give me a break. So I'm just going to put some of this brake lubricant that I have, and that's going to go inside this nylon, so that where this interfaces with that, it's got some lubricant. So that's done, lubricated. Probably going to hear from a oil and lubricant specialist telling me how this is the wrong product to use and blah blah blah, but I don't care. So next step is to slide that into there and then put everything back together again. Okay, so that's lubricated and back in, and I have to say the front to back slop is a lot less with this new design. So what we're going to do now is pull these arms out, put those in, and then we'll start putting it back together again. Pretty straightforward. Just thread the arm back through. And that's those done. And now we've got to get this mounted back up. And the tricky part is, you see there's a little mark, that's the center point. So obviously we want to have the pinion wheel, steering wheel straight, pinion wheel on, and that centered so that the steering wheel is straight, if that is something that bothers you. And speaking of the pinion wheel, it'll focus. A little bit of wear on this one, certainly not bad. I can't remember if I replaced it the last time or I don't remember. But anyway, the kit comes with a new one, so I'm going to put that new one on, put on the new hardware, and get this put together and see if it works. Interestingly though, on mine, the bottom of the steering shaft had that washer, and then that, and then the nut on the top, so they didn't provide a new washer in this kit, so I'm going to reuse that. So the first step is to put the pinion wheel back on. It just slides onto the splines, and then we can't put the nut and washer on until we've got that bracket in place. So I'm going to put the bracket in first, and then put the nut on here last. So because little things do bother me, I have got this steering wheel pretty straight. So we'll do our best to get that bracket on without moving the steering wheel. And again, you want to make sure that that indicator is centered. So that's the only tricky part about putting this back together again. So the same procedure as before, just in reverse. So I got it on, and then I was able to get the two retaining nuts on, and you can just slide the rod back and forth the steering rack, which if you look up here as I do that, so it's steering the steering wheel. So I'm going to get those nuts tightened up, and then I'm going to put the center nut on with that washer and carry on. So with the rack pulled all the way out, we can get this wheel put back on. You can't see anything, but put the cotter pin clip back in there, then run the rack all the way the other way and do the same on the other side. So here on the other side, just pull the wheel out of the way, grab it, pull it all the way out, and get that in, and then put in the cotter pin retainer for that. Then we just got to put the stabilizer rod on the front, and we can test it. So this goes back, just like that, and do the same on the other side. I'm going to use one of my brand new shiny bow tie pins. Ah, the bane of doing everything one-handed. These are real easy. You just get it started and just push it on. Done. Alright, moment of truth. Well, the steering wheel's pretty straight, so I'm happy with that. Of course, up in the air without any tension on the wheels, but it does feel better. So let's drop it down off the jack and see what the reveal is. So I'm going to do this in real time. Alright, off the jack. So what do you think, guys? Is this a fix or is this a bust? Well, there's still a little bit of play. I think that's just the nature of the design, but it is significantly better. That is for sure. So, I will say it's a win. Yeah, I can definitely feel it's tighter. Yeah, because it's the pinion gear on the rack that I can feel, I think. But I might just pop this cover off and have a look at where the steering shaft is bolted to the output shaft and make sure that bolt's not loose, because if you remember the last video, that was all loose and that was part of my problem. So let me just check that real quick. If you haven't taken that off before, it's real easy. There's a Phillips head screw in this top cover, and if you look down here, it just rotates out and that lifts away, right? And then if you've ever done anything with a car body panels, you're familiar with these little plastic retaining pins, so we just pop those out and this bottom housing will come off and we'll be able to get access to, well, actually the bolt is right there, so you don't even have to take this bottom cover off. And you get a wrench on that and make sure it's tight. Well, in the words of the prophet Eric O from South Main Auto, she's toit as a toiger. So we're done. We have done everything we can do to tighten up the steering. I know there's been some discussion about where this bottom rod goes through the deck, right? The hole that goes through can get wallowed out, and that can mean that the shaft will slop around, but I'm sure that's not an easy fix. So I would give this a thumbs up. I will run it for a while and then I'll probably come back at the end of the summer after using this mower again for another glorious season of mowing my yard, and I'll let you guys know if it fixed it or if it was a bust. Thanks for watching.